You'd think there would have been more leading up to it, this moment when everything changed forever. But November 19th, 1994 was just an average night. I fed the dogs and cats, I tucked my kid in for bed, I brushed my teeth.
Three members of the Woodland Hills family are recovering from smoke inhalation tonight after a house fire that sent them fleeing into the cold night air. This time, an electrical problem is believed to be the cause of the fire. Water-dropping helicopters were brought in.
We got out of here, and the arson guys and the fire department said, "How did you do it? People do not walk away from this." At about an hour and a half before the fire, Hollye got up to go sleep with my son Taylor, and thank God that she did, because when it hit and when I got up and I opened my bedroom door, there was no way I could go 10 feet down the hall to get to them. It was 1,000 degrees. Rapid, billowing black smoke coming out of this window, and all I saw were his two little feet hanging out of the cloud of smoke. Hollye was holding him out of there, and I just said, "Drop him, drop."
The Dexters escaped barefoot into the night, but they lost more than their household possessions. They were both self-employed with home-based businesses.
This is my business.
Hollye was a designer of children's clothing. This is what remains of her samples, her patterns, and her financial records. This was Troy's music recording studio. Let's talk about insurance. How much of your loss was covered?
Nothing.
We were released from the hospital, homeless and jobless, with 2 young children to support. Though the news cycle moves on, disaster doesn't end when the fire is out. Over the next 2 years, we were bankrupted, lost our credit and cars, watched our friends pull away one by one, and the worst of it, we lost hope. And yet, this is not a sad story. When everything I identified with was gone, I was given the rare and painful gift of discovering who I really was. I learned that happiness can be found in the midst of disaster, and as my marriage began to erode under the stress of loss, I found that even when pushed to the edge, love can survive. Fire can destroy, but it can also reform. During a forest fire, the heat causes seed pods underground to burst open. For years they had lied dormant. Only catastrophe could make them take root. The scorched earth becomes a fertile soil, making the forest lush with new and different life. And that's the way it was with our lives. In the aftermath of all we lost, new seeds were planted that blossomed in ways we never could have foreseen.